Friends and Prairie Vintage, my name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. Fantastic viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad you finally found me, and I hope that this reading does resonate for you guys. If it does, please do subscribe. If you're wanting to see more of these readings, you can go check out the playlist. I have a lot of pick a card readings that might be resonating for you. All my readings are timeless. Okay, and for those of you guys returning, I am so grateful and so blessed to be doing your reading yet again today. Today's reading is a pick a card reading. We'll be looking at you and the person on your mind. We'll be looking at thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Okay, predominantly using the tarot. I don't know if we'll be using any oracle unless I'm called to do so, but these are the decks we're using. So for pile 1, these 2 decks, pile 2, these 2 decks, pile 3, these 2 decks, and pile 4. I'll move the boxes shortly so you can focus on your options. If you're new to tarot, if you're new to this channel, I do suggest you go listen to the disclaimer, okay? And this way you know exactly how I channel and what's going on here, okay? Before getting too confused or too uppity. And for those of you guys who have been here before, you know the routine. Okay, so energy could certainly be crisscrossed, meaning I might start calling it your energy and it's your person. So it's up to you to dictate or determine whose is who. Okay, I just read it sort of how it comes out, and you guys should know whose energy it is. But sometimes I'll say it's you and it's your person just because that's how it's sort of coming through. And it's easier for me to channel that way, okay? But I'll try to keep it A, B, so we're not confused, but I can't promise anything, okay? So A will be on the left, B will be on the right. We'll do thoughts, feelings, and then we'll look at intentions, which is what does that person want, okay? What do they want from this connection? So sit with these 4 options. I'll put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment below. It will take you directly to your pick. If it sounds like old energy or a connection you're not wanting to hear about, you can go check out another pile. Okay, and it's absolutely fine to not find a pile. It's only those of you guys needing to hear whatever is being communicated from the divine is going to pull through today. Okay, so I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, beautiful angels. Pile number 1. Let's take a look at feelings, thoughts, and intentions. We'll start with person A, their thoughts, and we'll sort of bounce between the two so that we can get a good story here, okay? So I understand what's going on. For pile number 1, person A, spirit, what are their thoughts about this connection? What are their thoughts about person B? For pile 1, what are they thinking right here, right now? Thoughts for pile 1, person A. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1 in this connection. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading. Person B, pile 1, what are their thoughts at this time, Spirit? Thoughts for person B, pile 1. This connection, pile 1 came here about person B's thoughts right here, right now. We have prudence revealing itself. Pile 1's thoughts. 10 swords in reverse. Death in reverse. Scorpio energy. I don't know why I revealed person B, but person A is in the dark. We'll see. 7 cups. I don't read bottom of the deck reversed. And we have the devil. Capricorn energy. Temperance, which says art in reverse. Sagittarius. King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So heavy Capricorn, and then 7 swords in reverse. So let's start with person A and their thoughts, okay? Give me a second here. I just want to see what's going on here. Okay. So person A is coming to some acceptance or some understanding in regards to their limitation. I think person A might have been in some denial or some untruth, or maybe not understanding a certain aspect of themselves that might have been getting in the way of this connection, specifically how this person contributes to this connection, or how this person could build something in this connection. I feel like there is an acceptance here of this person's shortcomings, if you will. So it could be, there's a lot here I'm picking up intuitively, okay? That's not really the meaning of the card so much, but we'll see as it comes forward. I feel like this person could have had some form of an ego about them that might have been justifying their energy or how they engage either in this connection or with connection as a whole. They could have been making a whole bunch of reasons or excuses or understandings in their mind about what this person wanted and why they were choosing whatever they were choosing that I don't think was in their highest good. It could have been reasons and excuses why I am incapable of committing, or why I am an unreliable person, or why it is I cannot be relied upon to provide in a connection, or why I'm not workable. Fill in the blank. I'm missing this, I am this, I haven't got this, or my understanding of myself is X. Okay, but I feel like this person's recently, and I don't know how recent, you'll have to know your person. They might be coming into this awareness, but I feel like it's an awareness of where they might have been sabotaging themselves by hanging on to that as being their be-all end-all as to why they couldn't contribute or why they were unsuccessful in relationship. And so it's almost like accepting their limitations and accepting where they are challenged, because they still acknowledge they have challenges here. They might acknowledge that they're just lacking. This is just an example, okay? Let's say if this is somebody who was lacking structure and stability in their world because they were just sort of flying by the seat of their pants. And this is how they live their life. And they would support this. And then they'd have opportunity to build or opportunity to engage. They would say, nope, this is how I am or what I want or how things have to be because of X. Now this person is sort of understanding, I have not built stability. I do not have my life together. I do not have it because of the fact that I've been in this mindset that I could do something here, that I have been the main character in the reasoning why this has been the case. And so they're seeing their devil, so their limitation, their unhealthy thought pattern, their addiction, their vice, their chains, as something that has been holding them back in their world. But they still feel that limitation's there. I'm still battling my lack of stability. I'm still battling the fact that I'm somebody that's difficult to be relied upon to show up energetically, because I'm battling this devil, because I have low self-esteem, because I have an inability to face this thing that's holding me back. Okay, whatever this thing is. Some of you guys, it could be addictions, like I say. Okay, but instead of being in denial about it, which, like I said, would be fed by the ego, making reasons or excuses, or it's the fault of everything else that I'm experiencing this lack or this world that I've created, I'm now seeing this thing, seeing my devils. And so, like we always talk about, the devil doesn't really exist unless we give it credence and we support that devil. So, for example, let's say the sun is here and the obstacle or the thing casting the shadow is in between, and then the shadow is cast because of this object, right? So the light shines and then there's a shadow. So the shadow is the devil. Okay, the shadow is the devil. And so the shadow, you can't touch it, you can't grasp it. It's not an entity. It's created because this thing is obstructing the light. If this thing was in here, the light would cast on the shadow. There would be no shadow. But if there's an obstacle, this thing, okay, this is the reality here. And so the light can't get through, and so it creates this shadow. And so this is why the devil is just this illusion, okay? Now we see it because we see shadows. When you walk down the street, you see the shadow. It's there, but it's not an entity. It's an absence of light. And so once we cast the light upon that shadow, it disappears, okay? So why I'm saying all this is because this person's light is the awareness, so that they can shine awareness on the devil, on the shadow of their world. And why it hasn't disappeared just yet is because there's still a lack of stability here. There's still a ingrained pattern that might need to be undone. There's still an attachment that is recognized, but still has a grip. And as long as this has a grip and the shadow exists, where we feel we can't remove the obstacle or do anything about that thing that's getting in the way, then we become imbalanced and we're unhealed. So this person is unhealed. Okay, I know I use dramatic words here, unhealed, but it's like an unhealed because it's an energy here of an imbalanced person that cannot be providing, standing on their own, capable and ready of a commitment or a reliable structure in this connection because of this devil in their world. So this is what they're thinking. They're becoming honest with themselves. Okay, and they might be becoming honest with this person, with person B. We don't know, potentially. Now, let's take a look at person B. Person B, I feel, might have gone through the ringer here, And it could be because if they were dealing with person A and person A kind of kept them in the dark. Now that's interesting because A was all in the face down. It's almost like they were hidden from person B. Person B might have been out and exposed, maybe what they wanted, or maybe they were, trying to work with person A. And so what are they thinking? It's like, I don't want to just put myself out there without there being clarity. And person B is sort of cautious, like how much of myself do I want to invest? How much of myself do I want to keep pouring into a situation here? Is this something that has a long-term potential? Is this something that is just going to end anyways? Am I already over this situation? Should I move on? Should I release this situation? Will this change? So there's caution. Person B is cautious. Person B still doesn't have full clarity. Person B might be unsure if person A is the right answer, is going to be the right fit for them. Person B is contemplating, should I release this connection? Should I accept the fact that it is sort of what it is here and remove my energy, or be cautious with how I engage with person A? so that I can work towards moving forward or releasing or detaching or coming to terms or acceptance of what is. So they're not quite sure. They're a little bit confused by maybe how person A, I don't know, is engaged with them, because they certainly have questions that maybe haven't really been answered or haven't really sold them on the truth. And it could be that person A, by withholding, has made person B not really trust. So it's like, can I trust A again? Should I trust A? So for some of you guys, A could have lied, outrightly, or just withheld, not been upfront, whatever degree. But Seven Swords could be a lie, and we lie by withholding. We lie by not being completely honest. We lie by not sharing. We lie by outwardly making up fibs. And so whatever B experienced here with A was something that's made them question how much they want to give and invest and show up, and whether it's best to just cut their losses and move on. But they don't know for sure, 4 Pentacles. So I feel like if it was up to B to detach emotionally, I think person B would release person A. I feel person B is sort of hanging on, and they could be hanging on for many reasons. One, it might be just the energy that they're in, that or letting person A go would mean them facing something new, which maybe they're not ready to do. Or the fantasy that they have about what A could be in the future to them is something they don't want to let go of, which I feel is probably the latter. But it has nothing to do with person A. It's just what I think in my mind about this ideal state, this ideal relationship, or what A could have meant to me, or whatever it was that I built in my mind about this story, this fantasy of what A could mean. I don't want to let go of that dream. I don't want to let go of that idea. But at the same time, I'm being brought to reality here, and it's like, I have to let go or things won't change, or I have to deal with the truth here that I'm having a difficult time accepting. I'd much rather stay in, this dreamy energy of having some form of hope that something could, reach this level of ideal relationship or dream come true. But I know that I got to sort of stay in reality. And so there's somewhere between dealing with reality and not wanting to let go of this connection. Because if person B was in reality, I think they would just call it quits here and release person A, because I don't think person B is fulfilled, and they're cautious, and I feel they've been hurt, most likely by the confusion or by the lack of energy that person A has been contributing here. According to person A's own energy, they're admitting that they haven't been engaged fairly with person B. Okay, so those are the thoughts. Let's take a look at feelings. Okay. Feelings. So we had Scorpio energy with the death there, and on person A, we had Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, heavy Capricorn energy with the devil there, and the King of Pentacles, and then Sagittarius with the Temperance. So let's take a look at feelings. Person A. This person A's feelings right here, right now, Spirit. How are they feeling about person B? Person 1A, how do they feel about the other person here in pile 1? What are their feelings about this connection or about person B specifically in this connection. Six of Cups, and it says pleasure. So Six of Cups is my soulmates card. Now, if there is a separation, because we were seeing 10 swords, although it was in the reverse, so it could be that things have ended a while ago, or things are, you know, like in a state here which isn't very good. Person A is definitely feeling these reconciliation feelings, okay, with the Six Cups, wanting to make amends. So we'll take a look at that. And person B's feelings. How is person B feeling about person A? What are their feelings right here, right now, spirits? How is person B feeling? Oh, there's lots of cards here. All right. So how is person B feeling about person A for pile 1? Feelings in this connection. Okay, let's take a look. So person A, we have the Six Cups, and we have Six Swords in reverse, and we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight Wands with swiftness. Let's take a look at person B. We have the Knight of Cups, we have the Two of Swords, and we have the King of Cups, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six Swords. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. Okay, so let's start with person A. Person A has tender feelings here for person B. Okay, if there's a separation, person A does want to come forward. I do feel person A will come forward with some form of communication. I feel like person A feels stuck. They feel stuck in some part of their world, and most likely it had to do with the devil. That is creating a Five Swords dynamic. And as long as they don't deal with that devil, they feel like it's impossible for them to build some form of stability and structure. Things haven't worked and come together. Person A has not been able to ground this connection and create roots to come together with person B, and they recognize this. They want to break out of that. They want to have forward movement. They feel stuck and they feel like not grounded. They don't feel secure, stable, okay? And they feel like this doesn't impact how they feel about person B. They feel a soul bond, a soul tie here to person B. This is pleasure. So I feel like this devil might have absolutely nothing to do with person B in person A's world. And so there's comfort that comes from B while person A sort of deals with that devil. Because the devil has created sabotage. The devil has created a lack of building and harmony according to person A in their world. And so I feel like person B is giving person A hope here with this rainbow. Hope to break out of this. Hope to move forward. Eight of Cups in reverse. And it says indolence. Six Swords in reverse. Eight Cups in reverse. Person A really feels stuck on something that it doesn't make them feel good. And it's preventing them from committing or creating a coming together with person B. And I don't think person A likes this. Person A feels emotionally unhappy being stuck in that devilly world, but also feeling like they can't break free from that or leave it or walk away. So for a lot of you guys, it is a way of being that has a grip on this person, and it impacts the stability in their world, so they can't be stable for person B. And I feel like person A wants to maybe communicate with person B about this, because it's like this part of my world is emotionally draining, I just heard, and not good. And it's like, but it holds me hostage here. And the only sort of good thing in my world is person B. And they feel like they've got a lot of emotional support here. These two people with two cups. So it's like, even though I've been in the temperance reverse, unhealed and incapable of creating stability or be dependable, because I've been battling this devil, it's like emotionally there's equal reciprocity. I feel the same way you feel. Your love here has been making me feel emotionally balanced, where I feel emotionally unregulated here and dissatisfied in this part of my world that might be either falling apart or has fallen apart, or just the lack of stability here. And it keeps me sort of stuck here. Okay. Wow. That's massive. I don't know what this devil is. And so let's look at B. B wants to move forward to calmer waters. And I think B doesn't know if it's with A or not. I think B has feelings and wants to share feelings with A. But I feel like B is sort of stuck. And I think they're saying feelings isn't enough, because there's deep feelings here, but it's like, what do we do with these feelings? I feel like we can't move forward. I feel like there is no structure, obviously, because A is saying they can't commit or build roots or solidify something here. So it's like, I have feelings. There's acknowledgement of love. There's showing feelings even. But it's like, unless we move forward and maybe make things official, or maybe ground things, or do something with these feelings, then I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do here. And so I feel like B wants movement, either with person A to solidify something, or movement away from the connection where they can just detach from these feelings, which they feel is not getting them anywhere, or they have no idea what to do with that. It's like, I can't do anything with person A while they're sort of held hostage here, or where they just feel for me and I feel for them. But so what? You know? There's a depth of feelings here. There's a lot of love. And so when we truly love someone, how do we leave? How do we move on? So this is sort of where person B is stuck. It's like these two conflicting things. It's like, one sort of me wants to move forward and attain that 7 cups, that idea of what I envision for myself for the future, that fantasy, fill in the blank, everything that this person wants. And the other sort is like, knowing I have a lot of love here. And so because I have love, it's like, do I stay here just pouring love into a situation that feels like it's not moving, or that it's not stable, or it can't get to anything other than just feels? Charity, yeah, like, do I just keep giving? You know, so they're like torn between giving love and emotions, and staying there or moving forward. That's the only two options, and they're not quite sure, because again, it's real love here with all of these cups. But as we know, only love doesn't really do much of anything except for what we love, and then what. So person B wants something. We'll see with intentions, because I think person B has a vision of something that they idolize or that they see for themselves. And so it's almost like giving up my dream or my hope to just stay and support person A. So they certainly could be supporting person A throughout a divorce or an addiction, or like a period of time where person A is unstable. All right, well, let's see intentions. Intentions. Let's mix these. Okay. So, person A's intentions for pile number 1. What are their intentions in this connection? What do they want with person B? What are they wanting in this connection? What do they want for themselves? And what are their intentions here in this connection, Spirit, for pile 1, person A? Thank you so much for this message. What does person A want? What are their intentions? And what does person B want? What are their intentions for this connection? What does person B want from pile 1A? One more, Spirit. What does person B, pile 1, want with person A? What are their intentions in this connection? To your card right there. Okay. Let's take a look. It's a Hangman in reverse, Pisces energy. 3 of Cups. This is abundance and prudence. 8 of Pentacles. And a 5 of Wands. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. It's a strife. And under that, we have the Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy. Okay, let's take a look at person B. We have the Capricorn. These aren't traditional tarot, okay? We have all the zodiacs. We have the elements in here, which I'm sure you remember. We saw prudence. We have prudence here. And we have fortune, which is the wheel of fortune here. This is in reverse. And we have strength, Leo energy. And the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. And under that, we have the Emperor, Aries energy. Okay. Let me sit with this. Okay. Interesting. So person A, I feel person A needs a bit of time here. And they need time here to understand what it is that, how can I put this? They want to be able to work, through this. They want to be able to fight for this. But I feel like they want to understand how to engage in a way that is going to work towards something that is successful, something that can be functional. And I think this is going to take them time. And so it's like they want time, as much time as they need, because they feel they're not seeing something, or they don't understand how to contribute or what they do need to do. And so they're conflicted about what that looks like. And it's like they're stuck in that sort of mindset where it's like, I don't know what to do, or I know I need to do something, and I'm not sure what that looks like or how I can do that at this time. But I don't want to lose person B. So they want to come together with person B. They want harmony with person B. And it's like the only thing that they're able to provide with person B at this time is something like a 3 cups, which again, is like what person B was saying, like, okay, emotions and love and like feelings of like emotions shared, and celebrating emotions, but that's not enough according to person B, where they were at feelings wise. And it's like person A is like, this is what their intention is, like, I want to be able to have harmony with person B and keep it like that until I figure out and understand what it is I'm supposed to do here, and have what it takes to, again, be that temperance in the uprights, because there's something in a practical way this person has to be able to show up and do, commit themselves. There's something in the pentacle realm that this person has to provide, which will take them working through the devil so they can show up and consistently put effort in a way that's going to create something. But I don't know that this person can do this at this time, or is stuck thinking they can't, or doesn't know how. So I think they're battling themselves with an understanding of who they think they are and what's going on in their world, and saying, but I don't want to lose person A. I still want to enjoy person B. I still want to enjoy person B. I still want to, like do whatever is going on here until I understand, or until I can understand how. Yeah, like and commit to this in a dedicated way, which will come, but it hasn't come yet, or I want it to come, but I'm still sorting through this. And as long as I'm sorting through this and battling this devil and having these conflicting thoughts and thinking that I'm incapable, it's like I still want harmony, and I still want to be friends with person B in my world, so that when I am ready, we can explore this lover's path that right now I can't explore for whatever reason. It's going to require something from me, this prudence, something from me that I hope comes, that I hope I understand, that I hope I can do, but hoping isn't doing. So it's going to create this sort of conflict between me and person B. I feel like person A definitely, if there's a separation, is going to come forward with a reconciliation. With the 8 wands, we saw the 6 cups and this 3 cups, which is all about reconciliation and communication and wanting to move forward. But to move forward to maintain is what I feel here, during a period of pause and reflection. And it's like, until I can see the light. So stay here until I can see the light. Enjoy me and I enjoy you until I see the light. And then I can work on this thing. But I don't want to give up, and I want to fight for this because I understand it's blocked. And there's a level of accountability here, knowing that it's because of my mindset or because of my lack of understanding of something here that's getting in the way of harmony, that's getting in the way of us sort of coming together. And I want to figure it out. And so I'm challenged, and I'm fighting against this understanding. And so let's see, what's person B's intention? I think person B feels like they gave away their power, and it's like, I don't want to keep giving my power. I want to get empowered to move with truth and get very clear about what is truthful. I don't want to get swayed by my emotions and make decisions that aren't aligned for my greatest good. So it's like, I want to be honest with myself, and I want to see the truth of my situation, no matter how painful. But that would require me to have the strength and the courage to move away, maybe even if it's difficult. And so right now, person B feels like they're at the mercy of the universe, and that this connection is sort of stuck. And it's like they're experiencing, like the shit end of the situation here, because I feel like person B is not fulfilled. That's the energy I'm getting, is they're not fulfilled. And it's like they're committed and they're dedicated and they're consistent and persistent in trying to get to the truth and trying to move with honesty and clarity. Like they want clarity, they want truth, and they're going to be consistent with this, but it's like I still feel really stuck. I feel like things haven't moved. I feel like I'm at the mercy of this situation and the circumstance unfolding, and it's like, but I want to be empowered to make my own way, you know? And part of them's like, I want person A potentially to be empowered to speak and be truthful and honest with me and have the courage to sort of stick it out if I could. Because again, they're two swords, and one sword was stay, but then that would take a level of commitment, dedication, feeling stuck here for who knows how long, but having the reward of potentially working through this thing, but they don't know. They're kind of blind to this. It's like, will that be the outcome? Will the truth prevail? Will the emperor show up here? You know, regardless of gender. And so it's taking this person a lot of strength to either remain in a stuck situation here, hoping for the best. And it'll also take a lot of strength for this person to accept, embrace painful truths, and empower themselves to move forward from a situation that feels like it's not moving anywhere, that they've already spent a lot of time, energy, effort, commitment in given of themselves here. And so we could see that two swords playing out because there's been a lot of investment. And it's like, do I cut my losses? Do I just move on? Do I embrace this truth and cut out person, you know, A, so that I can be free and can be sort of in my own power? So this is what I have. Pile number 1. Let me know in the comments if this resonated for you guys. We have Leo and Capricorn here and Pisces. Okay, so if you guys are called to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angel. Pile number 2. You guys picked these two decks right here. We're looking at you versus the person on your mind for thoughts, feelings, and intentions. What do you guys want with each other in this connection? So let's take a look at person A versus person B. Okay, you could be A or B. Doesn't matter. You got to resonate, though, with one side being your energy, and your person will fall on the other side. Okay, so we'll start with person A, pile 2, and their thoughts. Person A's thoughts for pile 2, spirits. What is person A's thoughts about this connection, about the other person here in this pile? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. What is person A's thoughts right here, right now, spirits? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. Thank you so much, spirits. I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. Do feel one right there. Okay. We'll lay the cards out and then we'll compare the two here so we have context. So person B for pile number 2. How's the other person thinking? What is pile person 2? Person B. So, oh, Linda, what is pile 2 person B thinking at this time, right here, right now? What are their thoughts about this connection and person A? So let's see. We have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the 5 of Swords. Yoicks. And we have the Fool, Aquarius energy. And we have the High Priestess, which just says the Priestess in reverse. And we have 4 swords. Okay. And let's take a look at these cards, shall we? Bottom of the deck, we have, I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. We have the 8 cups. We have Knight of Cups in reverse and the World. I'm going to leave it like this. The World in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse. We have the 9 Pentacles. We have 10 Swords in reverse. And we have the Knight of Pentacles here. Okay. So let me sit with this energy and tap into it. What's under Four Swords? We have the Sun in reverse. Leo energy. Leo energy. Okay. I think something not good happened between A and B. Okay, where nobody won with this Five Swords. And so what's A thinking? A is like thinking, fuck this. I'm moving forward. And I don't know where I'm moving forward, and I don't understand exactly what just happened here. And I don't see, I don't understand, I don't see. And it's almost like I feel almost like care to understand or see, aside from knowing what I experienced here wasn't good. And I want to break free from this because I don't like feeling the way I feel. So person A, although we don't see feelings just yet, is thinking about detaching and just moving forward. And I feel like it is forward to heal, forward to let bygones be bygones, put it behind them, because they don't want to sit there in the outs. They don't want to sit there feeling bad or sad or stewing over what didn't work or what had just happened here, because I do feel like person A might have felt let down or like things didn't go very good, and they don't understand or see why it happened the way it happened. And it's like I'm not in the know, and I don't even know what will happen with person B so much now as a result of what has happened. But all they know is I want to heal. All they know is they want to move forward. All they know is I don't want to deal with any of this. I don't like the state that I'm in. And things might come to light, but it's like the only way for me to be happy is to not stay in this state, stay and dwell or stay and argue or stay and try to do anything other than just move forward with myself, you know, like leave all the baggage behind. Who knows what the closure is here or why things have happened, but I don't care to sit here figuring it out. And so it's pretty optimistic because they're moving towards finding their own happiness and leaving what has happened sort of in the past. So let's look at person B. Person B walked away. Person B walked away. Now, did they walk away from person A? It's kind of giving vibes of like walking away without giving any sort of warning, because I feel like A here is like in the dark about something. It's like, why did person B walk away? So it could be that B all of a sudden fell off the face of the earth or just wanted to be single here and like close it out. But it's like there was no closure. This is like getting no closure. And this is like we have feelings, but we're blocking or we're not acting on these feelings. So what I'm really getting here, you guys, okay, I feel like a lot of you guys might be A, but person B would rather invest or move towards something that is in their practical world that supports their stability or sense of world in a pentacle way, in a practical way. So for a lot of you guys, if this person had a choice between a relationship and focusing on something, some aspect of their world, they chose the aspect in their world. And it's like, I have to put an end to my connection with person A. And this is the only way for me to have progress in my world. And so it's almost like justifying why they walked away. But they do understand that there was a lack of clarity here and closure, like that was provided as to why it had to end or why it ended, that they might know, but that they didn't share. And it's like, I just won't move towards person A. I'll move towards this thing that's going to make me feel more confident. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Here's the Page of Cups. So there is an emotional immaturity, but I also feel like it could be selfishly more focused on what's like, I feel like this person might be putting their emotions and how they'll feel on something practical here than on relationship or what person A had to offer to them. And it's like, no, I'm not looking for that. I want to be emotionally happy, focusing on my singleness or focusing on my work or focusing on adding to my bank account or focusing on spending time doing things I enjoy, building up my confidence, that sort of thing. That's what's going to make me emotionally happy. So it's kind of like a little bit of a selfish energy because it's self-focused, but knowing what doesn't emotionally fulfill them, maybe because they felt emotionally underdeveloped here for a relationship or incapable of expressing themselves in relationship. Or for some of you guys, what I'm getting, oopsie, like, let's just say this is just an example, okay? Apply to your situation. If I'm on my last year of schooling and I'm about to get my degree or something like this, and it's like wrong timing. Here comes person A, and it's like, sorry, like, I gotta do what emotionally is tied to my success here, which I need to close out first before I can be available to engage and entertain in a relationship. So I must walk away from relationship at this point in time because I'm not yet in a position here to enjoy it or be available to it. And so this is why they might have ended this relationship or walked away or just moved away from this relationship. Like, I don't know what else to say here. Now, they do feel sorry. They may not say that they're sorry, but I think how it happened, they feel sorry because I do feel like person A was left in the dark or blindsided. This is how it's coming through. Interesting. Okay. So, okay, let's take a look at feelings then, okay? So, let's see. How does person, for pile 2, person A, feel about person B? What are their feelings? What is person A's feelings for person B for pile 2? How are they feeling right here, right now? Their feelings towards person B about this connection. What are they feeling exactly here? Judgments. Wow. They're coming to terms with what has happened here. Priestess now in the upright. Again, High Priestess, Pisces energy. Person A, how are they feeling? Got 2 major arcanas here. 8 of Swords in reverse and the Page of Wands in reverse. And the 2 of Wands. Okay. Person B, feelings. Person B's feelings. How are they feeling right here, right now about person A and this connection? What are they feeling? Thank you, Spirit, for this message. What is person B pile 2 feeling at this time? What are they feeling for person A? 8 of Cups in reverse. 5 of Wands. 4 of Cups. Strength, which is Leo. 10 Cups and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Leo energy, and the star at the bottom of the deck, which is Aquarius energy. Okay. So I feel person A is coming to terms. And what they're coming to terms with is that there's a decision in front of them that has nothing to do with B anymore. That person A's future is solely dependent on person A's decision to break free from being held back or trying to figure out and sort through why things have happened the way they happen, which I really feel is B sort of ghosting or blocking or just removing or not wanting to engage with person A. And so I feel like person A is really seeing and understanding greater truths. You know, like they're accepting that what has happened is one layer, but then there's many other things that they don't see and that they don't understand fully that are equally as real. And it's like, I'm not going to believe something here that's going to imprison me, that it was because of me or because of this or that, and ride that understanding as the truth, because I don't know. And so I don't need to be imprisoned by the lack of clarity or the lack of closure or what I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to allow myself to understand that it's up to me, whichever way I want to go forward. And I could choose to stay, you know, saying woe is me and figuring it out and being stuck here, or I can move forward. And this person A understands that it's solely up to them, whichever way they want to move. So I think person A doesn't have access to communicate with person B. But I feel like person A is in a good position to move forward. I don't feel they fully have moved on just yet, but I feel like maybe they were expending a lot of energy getting ready to move on and like releasing themselves from thoughts and stories of coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all this stuff. So who knows how long they sat here, but I feel like they've made progress. They freed themselves from certain limitations that were keeping them maybe wanting to know what happened or what has happened or what they could do and should do. But it's like, I've learned my lesson here, or at least I've come to terms with something here. And now I know that intuitively I'm being asked to move forward and break free from this. So they feel like the best thing for them to do is to be able to detach and move forward and be okay with this, you know, make peace with this. 7 of Swords in reverse. It's like also they don't owe anything to person B. So it's like I was kept in the dark and I was needing to go through it on my own, to figure it out on my own. And so I don't feel like I want to be visible to person B. And so there's almost an energy of like, now I'll just hide from person B. Like I won't make myself visible or available. So this person could have, one, removed their social media. It's like, I don't want person B to have access to me. However, person B might have. And it's like, I will just focus on myself then, or consider my own emotions, or like be more self-serving and self-focused than maybe they have in the past, because it's like I feel slighted, or at least I'm coming to terms with the fact that I got lied to, and now it's like I need to just be concerned with myself. And so I'm going to, I don't know, maybe, like I said, block person B from being able to communicate with me or see me or any of this stuff. The Sun in reverse. They still don't have the clarity, but I think they're making the clarity that they need in order for them to be able to move forward. So for feelings, it's like acceptance. And it's almost like I want to protect myself by not being visible here and sort of keeping to myself and undoing some of this, because there's a part that knows like some of this was not, like they couldn't prevent this, and coming to terms that they can't explore this anymore. And so for B, I feel like there's a real push-pull here in some way. Oopsie. That wasn't good. A push-pull in a way, because it's like they're battling themselves, person B. And what are they battling exactly? It's like the connection with person A. And I don't think it's just because it's A. I feel like it's a connection as a whole, like being in a connection as a whole goes against what this person envisions for themselves. There's some practical thing they're trying to build. Like I said, for some of you guys, it's like schooling or like an independence here. Like I want to build my empire first before I explore a relationship, because it's like a relationship for this person can only be successful and happy once this person is established, once this person is in control of their own finances or their own future, or their own solid state here in a pentacle way. But they're like, but it takes a lot of energy to not engage in relationship, and I might be emotionally dissatisfied here, and so part of this person's like, like arguing with itself, saying, why can't I enjoy like a relationship at the same time here? But it's like, but I can't fully give it everything I've got, and I'm not fully sold on a relationship emotionally, because my priority is about the future build that I can have of myself. So, but when it comes to A specifically, it's like this person is sort of having to fight themselves and hold themselves back from remaining in a situation here where they feel they would be it's like emotionally they feel it wouldn't be aligned to the other half of their world, like I say, which is building that empire or some structure in their world. But why are they holding themselves back here? It's like I'm fighting with myself, I'm restraining myself from maybe going back and experiencing person A, because I know that it would still be emotionally unsatisfying, and I would just be sort of there experiencing this, but not able to provide emotional satisfaction until I achieve this status. That's my vision of what I want. So maybe in the future, in the future, we can have happiness in the future, but it's like, is that with A, or in the future, I can have a relationship that will be happy, emotionally fulfilled, but right now it's like I can't compromise or risk my own stability here and commit to it. So I feel there's more here, and I'm not quite sure I'm seeing it. So just give me a second to see what comes through. It's like this person also doesn't feel happy cutting out a relationship. So it's like, I'm not happy having to make this choice because just doing this also doesn't emotionally fulfill me. And so part of them doesn't want to give up or completely detach or walk away. But they also don't feel like they're capable of committing in a way that can promise some future state. And so it's like, I don't want to have to promise a future state here. So, maybe we'll get more with intentions because I'm not quite sure, but that's what the feelings are coming through as. So, what's underneath the star? Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's like this person wants to have compassion towards them and experience emotions, but sort of as a side thing here while they focus on this building of some future thing that they want for themselves. And so this is why they engage with relationship. And it's like, I got to hold myself back from relationship, from feeling that I need someone else to show up and give me love and experience emotions here, because it's going to be something that I can't emotionally engage with here. It'll be dissatisfying for whoever it is that I'm involved with here, because I can't promise this happily ever after. Yeah, I can't work with them. I can't work with them. I can't show up. So, okay, I don't know why they feel this way, but we're not really looking at the whys as so much as the feelings. So let's see, intentions. Person for pile 2, person A. What do they want then? What are their intentions? I feel like person A just wants to be happy and move on. What is person A's intentions in this connection towards person B? What do they want? What are their intentions here in this connection right here, right now? Person A's intentions towards person B. What are their intentions? We have 3 pentacles. Okay. We have Knight of Swords and 3 of Cups and the Moon in reverse, Cancer, Pisces, and the 3 of Wands and the Knight of Cups in reverse. The 3 pentacles, and under 3 pentacles we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. And Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay, so let's see. So person A wants to move forward, whatever moving forward looks like for them. If this means that they have to detach from person B, regardless of how they feel, it's like, I'm not going to take action on how I feel. I want to take action on what can actually build and work with me. And they don't think that person B is the type of person that could build with them or work with them or is reliable enough to expand with them. They left them confused, they left them in the dark, and they left them sort of having to fend for themselves. So I feel like A is wanting to confront what happened in some way so that they could get clarity, because it's like, I don't know why I got left in the dark. And so there's if I could gain clarity around why it didn't work and why person B doesn't want to come together, then this would allow me to move forward. Maybe it would help me to move on. And it's like choosing to know what happened, choosing the clarity over just being in their feels, like, because I have feelings for person B, but that's not enough for me to make decisions maybe like as quickly as I can, or get on this forward momentum that I want to have, because I feel like person A just wants to sort of move forward and create something with someone that they could build with, that is reliable, that can commit to them, that can work with them, and that could build without there being guesswork and fear of being let go, and like someone that's is workable. So they have no fear in like confronting person B if they had to. And also I feel like seems to be other people involved here, and I'm not sure how there's other people involved. It's like I want to confront everyone else involved. Yeah, I do feel there's other people involved here. Let's see. I'm not sure what is going on here with this 3 cups. What is this 3 cups? Because 3 cups could be like reconciliation, coming together, a network of people. But it's like the Knight of Swords is like confronting this. What is this 3 of Cups signifying here, Spirit? 6 of Cups in reverse. And 5 of Wands. So person A might see person B as having other options, and like, would I have to compete to come together with person A and like challenge other suitors, or in order for us to reconcile here? Both of these are my cards of reconciliation. So I don't think reconciliation is off the table for person A, but it's like the only way that I would reconcile here is if things became crystal clear where I was left in the dark, in order for us then to move forward, for me to be confident in showing how I feel again. Because maybe person A showed how they felt and got feeling like conflicted, and maybe feeling even betrayed somehow here in expressing their emotions. They feel like person B might be choosing someone else. And they might not necessarily know that person B was choosing that pentacle realm of some stability. But it's like, why can't person B commit or discuss this with me, or confront this with me, or provide me clarity about this so that we can move forward? Like, I'm open to this, but we'd have to hash it out. We'd have to have a dialogue about this. I'm not just going to go and pour my emotions and express how I feel to person B without there being a full understanding and clarifying what had happened here that left me feeling confused. That's how I'd reconcile. Otherwise, my energy sort of stays as it is about my understanding about person B. That person B is whatever judgment I made, because I was left to make my own judgments because things weren't clear and things didn't get talked about and resolved. So that's where person B is going to stay in my memory bank as they were, because person A had to make up their own mind, which it might have contradicted a lot of other things, because it didn't get clear and they weren't provided an explanation. So that's not good, according to person A. So let's see then, what's person B's intentions then? Yeah, like person A just wants to sort of, like they'll confront if they have to, come together with person B at any point in time. It's like the only way I'll come together with person B is to rectify and clarify and get them out of this state of where they're sitting right now energetically for me, because I had a bad experience. So let's see, person B's intentions then. Person B's intentions in this connection. What's person B's intentions towards person A? What do they want? 2 Pentacles, 10 Cups, Knight of Swords, Strength in reverse, and 7 Swords. I feel like person B is a little bit cowardly, if I gotta be honest, because they are self-focused and they might have just blocked and ran, unexpectedly from person A. And now they're in these 2 worlds, because one world's like, oh, I could see how the future would be good with person A emotionally, but the other world, which is the world that they chose, to the Pentacle realm, pulls them in that direction. And so it's like a cowardly energy. It's like, instead of balancing these 2 worlds of mine, school and a relationship, or finishing this and, or working on this and a relationship, it's like I chose to be cowardly. I chose to acknowledge to myself that I'm incapable of having both in some way. And so even though I see that person A could be a happy future for me emotionally, it's like, but it's at the expense of something else, according to them. And so I'll just cut out person A, because I'm not able to balance the 2 and prioritize the 2. And I won't tell person A why, because hopefully if I don't tell person A, and it's sort of, I don't know, like organically blows over, then maybe one day there's a potential of a 10 Cups, but I need to sort of choose the thing that I chose. But I don't want to appear cowardly. And if I do come forward to discuss this, then it's like I'm revealing my weakness in some way. And what is their weakness? It's like, I'm incapable of doing both, or I'm incapable of prioritizing you, or I'm incapable of that. This is how they feel, but they don't want to admit it to person A. I say you, person A, they don't want to admit this. They don't even probably want to admit it to themselves. But it's not a matter of this or that, but they felt like it was a matter of this or that. And so even if you could be a happily ever after, it's like it's at the expense of me giving up some part of myself that I don't want to give up. Queen of Wands in reverse. So I feel like this person was a little cowardly and is looking a little bit manipulative in a way here, to get what they want without being open and upfront and courageous enough to discuss this, they sort of just bolted, is how I feel in the middle of the night. No warning. I just block. So their intention is to keep this sort of hidden, like why they blocked or why they ran or why they are incapable of stepping up and prioritizing this connection. It's like they're masked up here and they don't want person A to find out why. And so in their mind, it's like eventually I'll be able to prioritize a 10 cups in my future, but right now I can't. So instead of admitting this and having to explain myself, I just block because I know I can't. Okay. So sounds difficult, pile number 2, but this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 3, you picked this deck right here and this deck right here. We're looking at pile 3, person A versus person B, person on your mind, and we're looking at thoughts, feelings, intentions. So we'll start with person A. You could be either A or B. Okay. So we'll start with A. If this sounds like your person, then you might be person B. Okay, but you must resonate with one side in order for this to be your pile. So, Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 3, person A. What are their thoughts? What are they thinking right here, right now, when it comes to this connection? When it comes to person B, what is person A thinking at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. What is person A thinking at this time? Tower. Uh-oh. Empress in reverse. Taurus, Libra energy. 4 of Wands in reverse. You guys, what the hell? One more, Spirit. Justice. Libra. 5 Pentacles in reverse. Yoicks. Okay, let's pull person B just to sort of get context, but I will start with A's thoughts. What is person B's thoughts right here, right now? Person B's thoughts when it comes to this connection, when it comes to person A. What is person B thinking at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection, Spirit. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. What is person B thinking? Okay. Let's move these down. Down, 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 down. Okay. High Priestess, I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. High Priestess is Pisces energy. And we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. And we have the Oracle of Pentacles. This is the Queen of Pentacles, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure that the Oracle is the Queen. The Oracle of Pentacles. The Oracle, yeah, is Queen, and then Elder is King, Champion is Knight, and Apprentice is the Page. So we got the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, the World, and the 8 of Wands. Okay, let's see. What is person A thinking? Okay, there's a couple of messages coming through. You'll have to know what resonates for your situation. Person A is having to dissolve some structure in their world that wasn't really going to sustain itself. Okay, and so whatever they built in their world, a community, some of them could be a marriage, a family situation, a setup here, And I feel like whatever this setup might have not allowed this person to become available or understand something about themselves in order for them to show up for this connection. Okay, now for some of you guys, it could be this connection had to dissolve in order for this person to connect to their self-worth and their self-love. And it's like, I have to let go of this thing. It's not working. It's not coming together. It's not cohesive. There's no balance. It's unstable. And it's making me feel out in the cold. It's not making me feel good. It's not balanced and it's not just. And so I want to find justice for myself. So I don't know, like I say, if this person A, is already in some sort of setup. Now, it doesn't have to be a marriage. It could just be, like I said, a setup of an established thing that just no longer sustains itself here. And it doesn't allow me to be balanced so that I can show up, and it's creating turmoil in my life, or just it's creating me feeling left out in the cold when it comes to a part of my world that would require me to dissolve this thing. And I could have been sticking to it because of maybe needing to know my self-worth, or maybe needing to know my boundaries, or maybe feeling like I wasn't worthy of something more, deserving of love or deserving of this. So it's all about self-love, self-worth, self-value, what's going to work, what isn't working, and detaching from what isn't coming together and not cohesive, because there's an understanding and an acceptance here of what I need to do in order for me to bring justice to myself and get harmonized here. Because what I've been experiencing is a 5 Pentacles, Ace of Wands. And so I've been either suppressing what I really want to move towards, and suppressing what I really want to move towards has been resulting in an experience that I don't like. Has been telling myself I'm not worthy of attaining what I do want, or where there is abundance. And so I might have had to hold myself back a lot, So what they're thinking is about restoring justice, restoring balance, doing the right thing for themselves, and how this would require the tearing apart or the dissolution of some existing thing that isn't going to sustain them. So what is person B thinking here? I think person B might not be in the know of what's going on with person A, because I feel like person B, like intuitively what I'm getting here is like person B might have been waiting at some point, feeling a little bit helpless, like there's nothing they could do or choose to make themselves work with person A. And so they've had to sort of focus on themselves, and they've had to close out, I feel, a major part of their world of maybe where they were in limbo, or maybe where they wanted things to be different, or maybe where they felt at a crossroads, uncertain, like how to proceed. I think person B has moved on, or has broken free from something, closed the chapter to something. And it's like trusting their intuition. So they might have had to surrender. They might have had to release person A. They might have had to just trust in their own ability to provide happiness for themselves. So I feel there's a lot of movement of energy here, and I do feel it's away from person A. It's like knowing that I am abundant, knowing I could provide, knowing I don't need anyone or this situation to pan out, and accepting the fact that things were at a stalemate. They're stuck here for some time, and I only have the power to control myself. And so maybe person B has been really focused on their spirituality, or has surrendered to the divine, knowing that the truth will set them free later on, like an intuitive knowing that the best thing to do is to move forward. The best thing to do is to close this chapter and trust in their own resources to provide for them. And whoever wants to work with them will work with them. but they're not needing to do anything aside from just support themselves. And so they're thinking about how they can progress every day and how they could keep closing out this chapter of staleness or stagnation, and how they can build their own empire, how they can keep adding to their own security, and how they could find their own soul tribe of people who want to work and build with them. Like they're aligning themselves with people, places, and things that are successful. Okay, so let's take a look at thoughts. I'm going to clear this up, okay, and then we'll look at thoughts. Just one sec. All right, so let's take a look at feelings. Pile 2, person A's feelings for person B. What are they actually feeling right here, right now? What are their feelings? So because we were seeing Empress, Justice, the Four of Wands, and what was the first card there? I do feel like for some people it could certainly be representative of a marriage, you know, or an almost married type situation. So let's see. Pile number 3, person A, feelings. What are they feeling towards person B? What are their feelings right here, right now? How are they feeling, Spirit? Wheel of Fortune. 3 of Pentacles. I just heard I'm ready to work. Yeah, I'm ready to move towards what I actually want here. The Moon. I'm getting out of that whole state where I was confused, didn't know, had fears that was holding me back from building something here. I'm ready to put in the energy and the effort and the dedication and the commitment. Okie dokie. So, how do they feel? They feel inspired to create something. They feel inspired to move on despite fears of the unknown. Not let fears and uncertainties get in their way. Oops, I dropped a card. How does pile number 3, person B, feel? Person A also feels things will get better. So they feel, okay, so we have the Oracle of Wands, which is the Queen of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and bottom of the deck is Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. Okay, let's go back over here. So it's very clear message. Person A feels like now's the time. And they do feel like they could have success if they act now. And so they're inspired to act now and to work. And I do feel like it's most likely work with person B. It's like, I want to create something and I'm passionate about this. And so this is what I want to move towards. And now's the time. And if I move now, then we'll have success and things will work out good. So despite me being uncertain or not knowing exactly how it'll work out, as long as I move towards that and put in my energy towards building that, then if I build it, it will come and I'll be successful. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, if I keep putting my energy, my effort, it will pan out successfully. So how's person B feeling? Not so much the same. Person B, I feel here, is saying it didn't work. We didn't have success. So they're turned off. They're feeling like they experience rejection, and they might certainly reject person A because it's like, I am understanding my value. I am understanding my beauty. I'm understanding that I'm worthy of all abundant things here, and only people who are at my caliber can be entered into my world. And so I feel like this person is putting a hard stop here, saying, no, I don't want to proceed. I don't want to engage. I don't think there'll be success here. And so therefore, emotionally, I have to decline. And it's like I had to do a lot of healing, and I'm still doing healing, and I'm still trying to find balance here. And I want to be in a partnership that's an equal give and take with somebody who I can create with, not somebody who's unsuccessful here in creating something that is going to flow in a balanced way. And I want someone who's going to see me in my beauty here, not somebody who's going to make me feel rejected, not somebody who's not going to appreciate me or celebrate me or hold me in high regard. I don't have time for that, and I don't want to invest in this. And so, unless I see someone who's as ready as me and who's capable of providing me with this, where there's no history here of maybe feeling like it didn't work, or someone who's rejected me, like they don't want to deal with this, with person A so much because of their experience. All the experience here was rejection or like disappointment and someone not valuing them and not seeing them, and a stalemate and a stuckness. And during that process, they realize and they see their own true beauty. So now they're really built up here. They've transformed to this butterfly. They know who's going to reflect back to them and who's not. That's where B is at. So let's see, what then is the intention for person A? Intention. So person A for pile 3, what is person A's intentions? What do they want with person B? What are their intentions exactly here in this connection? What is person A's intentions with person B? What do they want? 2 of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords in reverse. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And the 2 of Wands. And Justice, Libra energy, heavy Libra here. And under that's the Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. Okay. And let's take a look at person B. What is B's intentions? Pile 3, person B. What are their intentions? Apprentice of Swords. That is the Page of Swords. Elder of Cups. That's the King of Cups in reverse, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Pile number 3, person B's intentions. 6 of Pentacles. I do feel one more. And we have the 7 of Wands. And the Devil. Devil. Now, this was at the bottom of the deck. This is why this one's in reverse. It's interesting because I feel there's like swapping of places here. But anyway, so person A. Person A is seeing the error of their ways. They might have been devil for some time, 2 swords, undecided, unclear. And throughout that whole time, it could have left a bad taste in person B's mouth, that person A didn't decide, didn't choose them. It's keeping them in limbo, wasn't giving any certainty, was stuck in something that was unhealthy. And now it's like A is like, I'm ready to choose. I'm ready to bring justice to the situation. I'm ready to restore balance here and do what's right and move towards what I should have all along here, because now I see clearly and I'm inspired to do this, and I'm no longer held back by fears and uncertainties and burying my head in the sand and cutting away from the devilly ways, which was holding me to something that wasn't sustainable. I'm ready now. So I want to come forward and I want to choose you, Pikachu. And now, person B. Person B is looking. And what they're looking is at an experience that they had. They experienced someone who is emotionally unavailable, who was imbalanced, who didn't provide. And it's like, I understand, or I can see how much it means in a connection when there's balance, give and take, when there's equal reciprocity, when one person isn't pouring into the other, and when somebody is emotionally disconnected or unavailable, and what that results in. And I have no desire to fight for that sort of a dynamic. I do not want to engage. I do not want to be challenged here. It's like it's clear to this person what they experienced didn't feel good, and what they experienced felt like they had to potentially like carry the weight themselves of something here. So the fact that we see the devil and we see the 10 swords, what I am seeing here, and person B might not like this, and I do have a feeling you're person B, here comes the Linda-isms. Person B is really hung up on an experience that they had, okay, which is fair enough, because what the experience was imbalanced, what the experience was lacking in some way or some capacity, but to the expense now that they're so chained to what it was that they experienced, that this person B, is so fixated on how that went and why it had to end and how it was limiting them. And so there's still this passing energy that person B is sort of still attached to. And as long as they're attached to that and not in the present moment of what works and what is balance, then they're sort of detached and fighting for the wrong sort of energy. They're still trapped in some form of, what's the right words to use here? It's like the only way this person B is going to add harmony to their world to be able to work with someone is to see beyond who's right, who's wrong, what happened in the past, and like allowing themselves to not to make decisions based on experiences of the past. Yes, be discerning, but not write something off or be chained to that idea of how it went bad or how it already ended. It ended and it ended and ended for a reason. So therefore, that's it. And it's like, okay, now I'm not one to say, go back. I don't know what this person did or like whatever. Maybe you just give one chance and it's one chance only, you know? But what I am seeing here is like, if things don't align exactly with person B, is what they're learning about is like having to navigate through what this looks like in order for there to be a balance and a partnership so that they can understand more about this, because there will be no growth and no experience and no understanding and no depth of love if they just sort of chalk it up to it is what it is, or this experience is what it is, and so therefore I'll write off person A. It's like, okay, is this the depth of how we love? Is this how love responds? Is this sort of giving up energy here based on a stubbornness of the devil's hold, you know, where we will never experience anything greater than that in which we've already experienced here because we're not willing to, and we want to be protective or right, or believe that our understanding of what we experience is right. Meanwhile, it's very limited here. We don't know everything. We don't know. We just know what we've experienced. And so Spirit wants us to be discerning, but also at the same time, it was about learning about equal distribution and balance, and not over giving, and sort of standing and fighting for what we believe in. But what were we trying to get in the first place, which was about love and depth of love? And so it's like we could tip the scales towards this lesson trumping over what we were trying to gain in the first place, which was love, compassion, understanding of understanding other people might be in situations or facing devil. So now we're in this devil energy, you know, not allowing ourselves to cut free from what we've experienced that was painful. So now we're hanging on to that pain. Yeah, 8 of Cups. So we'd rather be emotionally dissatisfied. No, I'd rather be here hanging on to the rejection I experienced knowing my value and my self-worth, but still being not experiencing love and shutting this all out because this person deserves to miss out on me now. Double energy. So what do we experience? We experience lack, and we experience loss, and we experience what? Just to be right? I don't know, but that's what's showing here. So were we looking at intentions? What were we looking at, you guys? I don't remember. Feelings or intentions? I don't know. I honestly don't know what we were looking at here, but I feel like I got lost in the channeling. And so maybe we should do just one round here and see what we need to see for both of these people. Spirit, for, yeah, I think this was intentions, right? Yes, but let's see. What, it's almost like person B wants person A to suffer now, which is devil. Let's see, Spirit, what did you want to say to pile A? And then what do you want to say to pile B? What do you want to say to pile A? Oh, Spirit, what does pile A need to know? Knight of Wands, Nine of Swords, and Six of Pentacles, and Wheel of Fortune. So it was all about divine timing. Nothing to do with anything except for divine timing. So if person B wants to be angry with person A or hold resentments or whatever stories they have, they can. But Spirit is talking about divine timing and everything happening as it should in order for there to be balance, in order for A to be in a position to give. And A was not in a position to give. Okay, and so I feel like A might have a lot of anxiety around how B is going to interact. There's a lot of anxiety here in A, and Spirit is saying for A to move forward, listening to how they feel, driving towards how they feel, and giving what they can. Okay, regardless if B is showing up, not showing up, bitter, angry, devil, whatever. It's like move forward with our desires of what's pulling us out of whatever state that we were in, because now is the time, and whatever you give, you'll reap in reward, because whatever you're not giving is what you could be lacking. And so there is this give in order to receive. And don't stay in anxiety and worry that person B is whatever, never going to show up, or is something you can't pursue here. And so if B doesn't want to show up, it's definitely going to be divinely guided by the universe here. So let's see, what about B then? What does the universe want to say to person B here? Because I feel person B is a little bit angry. Champion of Wands. So we have the Knight of Wands, Knight of Wands. This one's in reverse. So we see a horse. Horse is all about liberation, freedom. What does the divine want to communicate here for pile 3, person B? 10 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles in reverse. The Emperor, Aries energy, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Here is the Queen of Swords. So, Spirit is saying, discernment is good. Wisdom is good. Not overgiving is good. And also not being a reverse Queen of Swords is good. Because the Queen of Swords knows her boundaries. So, there's a need to lay boundaries and learn from the past. But learning doesn't mean being closed off and completely cutting everything off. So, there's a need to understand that to build a 10 pentacle is going to take 2 people, because a 9 pentacles is 1 person, a 10 pentacles is 2. If we're incapable of collaborating, cooperating, and working together, then we can't create a 10 pentacle. Okay, so the best thing to get empowered here is to understand what we have to work with, to actually see clearly, not through the eyes of anger, not through the eyes of resentment, not through the eyes of wanting to be right, not through the eyes of stubbornness. Okay, because I feel like this is the only thing that is not allowing person B to explore or entertain this any further. It's like person B is cut off from even seeing person A as exploring them or giving them a chance to build, to work with them. It's like, I am in charge. I am, the one that's going to create. And it's like, yeah, you are the one. So you're the one that can choose who you work with. And so you have this opportunity in front of you to be an emperor, to choose wisely, to work with someone who you can create something with. Or you could be a stubborn emperor and say, I am the one, and not create a 10 pentacles because you want to be right about something here, And so I feel like there's a need to really understand what has happened here, and to really understand where the divine took the wheel and why things did happen the way they happened, and why we couldn't work with people at a certain time when we wanted it, when the ego's timing was right. It's like, doesn't matter what the ego wanted. Didn't matter what was happening there, according to what the divine's saying here. Now, if you want it to matter, you can want it to matter. But like Dr. Phil says, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And so, yeah, maybe things weren't aligned and you didn't feel empowered and you felt slighted or whatever. But it's like, now you have an opportunity to build this 10 pentacles. But you have to be empowered to make this decision and to show up, not be the stick in the mud, but remain understanding boundaries and this sort of thing. So I don't know. I feel like you're going to hear from person A if you're B, because I feel like person A has resolved something here, but there's a lot of anxiety about how will I be received, because person A does know that they weren't giving and that they were withheld. And there might have been a very good reason why they couldn't. They had to learn and understand and go through a cycle. And now they're ready to come forward, So this is what I see. Pile number 3. I hope this resonated for you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 4. You guys pick these decks right here. We're looking at person A versus person B. Thoughts, feelings, intentions. So let's start with person A. You could be either A or B. Okay, but you must resonate with one side being your energy in order for this to be your pile. So, Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4, the person they came here about, person A's thoughts. Can we start with person A's thoughts? What are they thinking right here, right now in this connection? Pentacles. What is this? 8 of Pentacles? Yes, 8 Pentacles. Okay. What is person A thinking at this time? What are their thoughts about person B and this connection? We have the Knight of Cups and the 8 of Wands in reverse. 4 Cups. I do feel one more. How is, or what is pile 4 person A thinking at this time? What are their thoughts? 5 Cups. 7 Cups. And Strength. Leo energy. Okay. Let's lay all the cards here so we can... Oh, we got these in reverse. Weird. Should I take this one, Spirit? Sure. So we know what's going on here. So for pile 4, person B, what are their thoughts? What is person B thinking of person A in this connection? What's person B's thoughts about this connection and what's going on here? Right here, right now, Spirit. Person B's thoughts. Person B's thoughts at this time regarding this connection. Okay. Person B's thoughts. 9 Swords. Yoinks. 4 Wands in reverse. 10 Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Wands and 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Let's go back over here. 8 Pentacles. Knight of Cups. 8 Wands. Okay, so person A feels some limitation here on themselves, but like they're thinking about wanting to move forward with a level of energy that they could commit and invest and dedicate and commit themselves day in, day out, and put in effort and energy to create something here so that things could flow and express themselves and move with this sort of an energy. But I feel like they might feel, we're not in feelings yet, but it's driven by an inability to communicate potentially how they feel. There might be a fear of rejection, and there also might be that they might have rejected pile number 2 at some point in time in an energy that they're in, because there's an energy here of feeling stuck and an energy of being almost incapable, and then looking back and feeling saddened by this. So there's a looking back, an understanding that I feel bad, or I'm going to feel bad in my inability to produce, in my inability to communicate, in my inability to give emotionally in some way. And so with the 7 cups, it's like a need to choose and be clear and certain. But this person might not be able to do that, or hasn't been able to do that, because there's a lack of confidence and maybe an inability to face what they need to in order to speak a truth and move forward with truth. And so all it's resulted in is maybe person B feeling rejected, or maybe person A feeling like bad about their energy, because it's like it's not really reflective of how I feel. And so they might have some idea of what do they want to experience. And it's like, but I don't know how to make it a reality, or I don't have the courage to follow up on this and drive towards it confidently. And so I'm sort of blocked here, but I do have feelings, and we will see with the intention, but I am feeling a little bit of this intent to want to make things right and make things work and commit and dedicate themselves to flow. But all they've experienced, or all they think they will be experiencing here, is disappointment or rejection, or not, I don't know, something about them. So they could have low self-esteem or low self-confidence, or there's like I wish things would have been different, or I could do things different, or I had something different here in order for me to be able to build something. Page of Wands in reverse. There's a block in communication for sure. And I do feel there's a block in confidence, and also maybe in progression. It's like I want to pursue this, but I haven't, and now I feel bad. And why haven't they? The feelings are here, but it could be, like I said, a lack of confidence, or fear of rejection, or just in this mode that I've been in that now I regret, and a need to be more clear and know what I'm doing potentially here. I want to know what I'm doing with these emotions confidently so things can flow. And maybe I'm just too stuck in an energy that I don't know, and too many questions, and that I haven't even explored where I want to go out of fear of doing it wrong, or I don't know. There's something kind of weird here, which maybe will come through as we keep going. But how does pile number 4, person B, feel? A lot of anxiety, sleepless nights, a lot of worry. Why are they worried? Because things aren't coming together. Things haven't established themselves. They aren't able to get stable here with person A. And so it's like there's a lot of concern, like, will this be something that can build to the long term? I don't think so. It's not stable. And I have a lot of anxiety around it. Like, there's passion. It's kind of a spark here, but it's like I feel like maybe I'm better off keeping my own stability to myself. Maybe I'm better off being single. Maybe I'm better off just building and being confident in my own ability to stick to myself. Not share my wealth or not share my abundance with person A potentially, who might not be as stable as me, or not have the same vision as me of commitment and dedication here to build something. It feels like there's a lack of structure that's causing this person to have a lot of anxiety. And maybe person A can't commit because we see the 7 of Cups. So it's like too many options, not choosing, not committing. And it's driving person B in this anxious state of saying, well, I don't want to invest in something that isn't going to be stable or balanced or come together or have a future potential. And so there's like this energy of thinking about detaching, becoming single or independent of this connection. It's like, well, what if I just focus on myself? What if I just put the energy on myself? What if I start to get excited about my own world and not focus so much on whether I could build here with person A, because person A has proven to not want to build or is incapable of building or committing here. But I have a lot of anxiety about this. And why is there anxiety here? The Sun in reverse. Yeah, I don't see the future. And I'm not certain if this is the right answer, but I am being inspired to focus more on my own abundance, because person B hasn't been able to contribute here, or at least provide me with insight or clarity or certainty about the future we can have together. So the only thing I can rely on is my own self. And so I do feel like person B does have attraction here and passion towards person A, but it's like, where's that going to get me? Is that going to build to something? And it's like, I don't want to let my passion and my immediate sort of decisions dictate my actions so much where it compromises what I've built for myself, because I want to maintain my level of independence, confidence, and what I have built and add to it. I don't want to squander it, and I don't want to make a rash, independent decision here that's going to contradict this. And right now, person B feels that person A might be not in line with the build that they see for themselves, and they're not sure why, but it creates a lot of anxiety. And I'm not sure why here either, because there's feelings here and there's a desire to work and commit, but then there's like a rejection, feeling despondent and not choosing, and then feeling bad about this and not being able to communicate and break out of this energy because of the lack of confidence. And like I say, like not exploring this thing, like maybe there's a fear of failure, or I have failed before. And so I'm looking at the past, and not maybe another past relationship, or the past where I screwed up, or the past where I screwed up in this relationship. I don't want to repeat it. And so I'm just sitting here, not repeating it, but also not moving forward, thinking about what could be with the 7 cups. So let's see, feelings. What does pile 4 person A's feelings? What are they feeling? What does pile 4 person A feel at this time? What are their feelings towards person B? How are they feeling towards person B and this connection? What are their feelings, Spirit? How are they feeling at this time? So we have 2 pentacles in reverse. I just heard incapable. Need to prioritize. 8 pentacles. The Chariot. The Tower in reverse. Seven Cups. Again. And 5 Swords. Okay. Pile number 4, person B. How are they feeling? This one fell in limbo. We'll leave it like that. How is person B feeling at this time towards person A? How is the other person feeling here? So we have the King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have the Star, Aquarius energy. We have the King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have Death, which is Scorpio energy. What's under this King of Cups is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, so person A. There's something person A feels they are lacking. So they're incapable of prioritizing person B. It's like there's something in their world that they feel they need in order to put in the energy and the effort here to be balanced, to have success. And it's like I'm unstable, or I need to allow something to fall away here, because I do create a 5 swords by not allowing things to be balanced. And this doesn't allow me to get clear. This doesn't allow me to choose. This keeps me sort of in confusion here as long as I keep this world up, and this world is an unstable world. So I feel this person wants success badly. And maybe they want it so badly that they want to know what they need to do. And it's like, until I have what I need to do what it is that I need in order to be successful and balanced, it's like I hold back or I hold out. And it creates this conflict because I'm sabotaging this dynamic with person B by not moving forward and choosing and staying in this sort of energy. So I don't know how this helps them at all, but I feel like there's a feeling of really wanting success and wanting to come from a position of being balanced and complete so that they can ride for the long haul. And it's like maybe they feel they can't go in it for the long haul, and it's like I'll fall short, or yeah, okay. And this is coming through. They feel like if they're premature, if they don't have what it takes to be relied upon, to be consistent upon, to have what it takes to be consistent here, it will fall apart. They have to be balanced and they have to keep on this. And so if they're not ready, that chariot can topple, and then everything that they've worked on and built is like for nothing. And so it's like, I don't want to choose just yet. And I don't want to, like say I'm ready to move forward when I'm not, because clearly they feel they're missing something to choose this. And I think they understand that this does cause conflict, but it's also they want to prevent conflict. So they kind of feel like they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. But it's like, I'd rather experience this type of conflict than promise, choose, commit, and then show up but fall flat because I can't succeed. And then it becomes something that's unrepairable. 5 of Cups. Yeah. So I think this person might have failed in the past. I say failed, had no success either with this connection or another connection. And it's like, I look back on in sadness here, how I would have done things differently. And they feel saddened by their inability to perform, or by their inability to show up or prioritize or choose or be in a position that could be successful there. And it's like I keep experiencing conflict and challenge, and because of my inability to be balanced, and because my inability to have success, and my ability to control myself or guide myself in a way here that stays upright. Like I have to have this skill, and this person feels they're lacking, It's very interesting energy. 6 swords. They want to get out of that. And I do feel like they're slowly getting out of this, but they're still navigating through, and it's a very slow progress here. I do feel I need to see more, because I don't know. I said I wasn't going to dive in too deep to these because it does go on for a while, but I feel I'm missing something. So how is person A feeling then? I feel like they feel sad that they can't be more or do more at this time, but why do they believe that they can't be more or do more? Like, there's a belief in this, and it's from a past experience. So let's see. Person A's feelings. Why are they feeling the way they're feeling? Can we take a deeper look at their feelings? Person A's feelings. Two Swords. 7 Pentacles. Yeah, I'm not ready to put in that dedication and that time that is required enough to maintenance this thing properly. So I sit here, 2 Swords. The Lovers in reverse, at the crossroads. The 9 Pentacles in reverse, lacking the confidence and lacking the thing. And the Page of Cups and the 2 Wands. Okay, so it's the same message. Okay, this person sees that there's a lover's path here. A destined path for them to experience person B potentially that's blocked. And they do know it's blocked because they feel there's something they're lacking here. And until they get that under wraps or understand what that is, it's like, I'll sit here at this crossroads, not choosing person B just yet, because person B requires a certain maintenance, a certain dedication, a certain level of something from me that I don't have. I'm not confident I have it, or I physically don't have it. And so I'm incapable of making myself available. And so I don't choose person B just yet. And there is a level of immaturity here, because I do feel like this person is sort of selfishly doing this thing, you know, out of whatever, whether they could justify it or not. There's like a selfish, immature, emotional immaturity here, if I got to describe it. Because it's like, you know, an energy of, unless I know for sure I'm going to be successful and win, then I'm withholding, reserving, and not choosing and not moving forward. So I lack confidence maybe in my ability to be emotionally present or deep, or provide an emotional stability, because I'm only so deep, or I'm only so experienced, or I can only provide a level of this. And in order to be successful, I know it requires depth. I know it requires a lot more here, that incapable. They feel they're incapable. Not by choice so much, but although Spirit is showing you there is a choice. It's a choice, it's a choice, and it's a choice. And we're sitting here at the mouth of the choice saying, I can't, I don't. Okay, but it's really like, going to take effort. And maybe this person's like, I don't have the effort because I don't have the experience, and I don't have the confidence, and I don't have the thing to make this choice right now. Okay, so person B, how are they feeling? They're losing hope. Okay, they are losing hope, because it's like they might have had a vision of what this could be. And they might have had confidence that they could achieve this, and that things could turn for the better, and that there could be a plan for this, and that things would transform. But now this person is thinking like, do I need to release? Do I need to trust in the universal flow here that has shown me that it hasn't produced something here, and that the only way for it to transform is for me to release and start new where there is potential. But this person feels a lot of love. There's a lot of depth here when it comes to love. But it's like, I want to put my love towards something that I could create. And to them, it was that 10 Pentacle and that 4 Wands. You know, a family, a community, a long term. So this person wants a pentacle, practical thing to invest their emotions in that could build to something. And they're thinking, will this transform? It hasn't, and I'm losing hope. And so I'm somewhat hanging on to this thing instead of allowing it to just be what it is, because I still have confidence here that we could make something happen. or I could work with the circumstance in order for things to get better, or I have confidence in person A to work their way through it, although I'm losing hope, and this future that I envisioned seems like it's getting more distant, that I'm not so sure that it's going to be the future I envisioned, or it can be that. And so, yeah, like, we're seeing 2 kings here. It's like this person wants to put their emotions into action to create something in the future. It's like, I don't want to just have feelings here and sit on my hands. I don't want to just have love here and not be able to plan for success and what we could do together. Like, this person wants to have success, wants things to move, wants there to be a new rebirth here, and wants to leave the past sort of in the past by starting something new. And it's like they feel trapped in old energy, or like they can't start something new as long as like person A isn't fully bought in. And so there's like this waiting here, but a knowing that there is potential for something new for them to start. And so it's either they could start something, or they could sort of wait until this thing is completely dead or over. And it's like it's slowly dying off here. Like there's slow release, but there's still this desire to do something with their emotions. Okie dokie. So let's take a look at intentions then, and see what the intentions are for this beautiful connection. Okie dokie. So pile number 4, person A's intentions. What are their intentions? What do they want then with person B? What do they actually want? What does person A really want? Like, we saw the 5 of Cups twice, so they feel bad. Whatever has happened in the past has made this person feel bad. So what do they want then? What are their intentions with person B? Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Swords in reverse. We'll see that shortly. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse. Keep seeing this 5 of Cups. So, like, did they do you dirty in some way? The Emperor in reverse, or in the sideways, and the Queen of Wands in limbo. Queen of Swords. So we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we see the Knight of Cups in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles. 3 knights. What knight are we missing? Missing the Knight of Wands, because we're missing the confidence, the know-how, the ability, the empowerment. Okay, I think I know what's going on over there. So let's see. Intentions. Pile number 4's person B. Intentions. What do they want with person A? What do they want with this connection? What are their intentions? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection, Spirit. A Fool in reverse, Aquarius energy. What does person B want? 7 swords, clarified by the King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we have 10 Pentacles in reverse, clarified by the King of Cups in reverse. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I do feel one more. Pile number 4, person B's intentions. What are their intentions? Oops, one's falling. And it was the 8 of Pentacles, and it was kind of sliding, so I'm not sure if it's upright or reverse, but let's read energy. And then Tower at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So person A, I think they need to forgive themselves and overcome something from the past here that's imprinted in their mind about what didn't work. And what didn't work was their inability to make something work. They were incapable. They weren't confident enough, smart enough, strong enough, stable enough, organized enough, man enough, mature enough, orderly enough to create something successfully. And so that's all they remember. I remember the time I couldn't. I remember when I didn't. I remember it didn't result very good because of me. And now I see pile number 4B as somebody here who is worthy and wanting some level of something. Might be high maintenance, might be worthy of the best. And so in order for me to give person B the best, I have to show up in every single way possible here. And I lack the confidence to do this. So there's like a consistency over time to provide, be committed and dedicated over time, step by step. I have to be able to speak and confront and maybe even challenge person B and myself. And I don't know that I'm ready to have tough discussions or confront certain aspects that might be difficult. And maybe even know how to express my emotions or show my emotions in a way here that is to the level that the Queen of Wands deserves. So we saw the Page of Cups. So there's like an emotional immaturity and potentially like a disconnect from being able to express emotions that I might have had in the past that left me feeling bad or sad because of my inability to have those discussions, or maybe when I'm challenged with having to express myself, there's fears and there's doubts. Specifically, when it comes to emotions that I don't confront or that I can't speak about. And so to be in this connection would require maintenance, consistency, dedication, effort, and the confidence that I'm completely missing here. And so person B wants truths. Person B is going to hold me accountable. Person B is most likely going to lay boundaries, is going to ask for clarity, is going to maybe get very cold with me if I'm not truthful, honest, and able to confront. So I keep things in the 7 cups and not fully tell them that I'm ready, because if I'm ready, then the requirement is there for me to be on board with all of this. And all of these nights, or every aspect of me has to be on point, on game. And I'm failing in so many ways here, failing on, again, like communication, expressing emotions. I have a lot of fears. I'm lacking the confidence to be successful here. And so I'd rather just develop this before I fail again, before I commit and make it clear to pile B, person B, what I want. Although there's a lot of attraction, there's a lot of desire, there's a lot of respect, there's putting person B on a pedestal. And there's definitely blocks and understandings of self here that's experienced in the past that they didn't like about themselves. And so they'd rather retreat than confront this and deal with this. So now how is pile B person feeling? Well, there's a tower here. And this tower is allowing what doesn't sustain and what's not sustainable to fall away. I feel like person B might feel a little foolish here, might feel a little stuck here, like I can't have a new beginning to build my future when I keep pegging myself to something that's unstable. And it's like I'm really thinking about how I might be lying to myself, or how I might be robbing of myself an opportunity here to get grounded, to work to something that could build, because I might feel a little foolish here. I might feel very stuck, or like I'm giving pile A the benefit of the doubt. And they're feeling, I know we're looking at intentions here, but it's almost like because we haven't built the stability here, or there is no plan for the future, and there is no commitment, and maybe they feel person A is emotionally unavailable here to provide them with the depth of emotions they need. The two things that are sort of missing here, it's like, what am I understanding and what am I knowing about this? Like, I want to understand or know where I might be deceiving myself, or where person A might not be truthful with me, or what it is here that I need to let go of so that I can build something that is solid. So they intend on building something solid. They want to put in the effort, but they're trying to figure out, like, is the effort I'm supposed to put in, the dedication and commitment towards something here that I can't understand or see, that could be deceiving me, that hasn't built to anything, that doesn't promise of a future and is emotionally unavailable and doesn't allow me to, like, have a new beginning to trust it, however it unfolds. I feel stuck here and I feel a little foolish. And I don't want to be deceived, but something logically here is telling me that it's deceitful. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like having to accept this tower. So we see the Hermit, Virgo energy. This is all about an inner knowing. Like an inner knowing of truth here that leads us to where we want to go. That might not be logical, or that might not make a whole lot of sense here. I don't know. I'm going to have to see some more here, because I do feel like on all levels, person B can't make sense of this connection so much, you know? So let's see. Person B's intention, like, what is their intention here? We see this one spun around. The Page of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. So we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Why is this Page of Cups here in reverse? Five of Pentacles in reverse. Why is this Queen of Cups here? Strength with the Leo. And finally, why is this Eight Pentacles here? Five Swords in reverse and the Hierophant. And under that, we have the Eight Swords in reverse. Okay, so I have a lot of questions, but maybe this is clear for a lot of you guys. So what person B has a lot of love here? They want to show compassion. Okay, but they also want to show some restraint. It's like, I feel love, but I need to manage my emotions, that I'm not overly giving and overly emotional here. And so they are sort of held back here, wanting to focus and work on something they can build that isn't going to create conflict in their world. And it's like person A is emotionally immature here and potentially unavailable to be at my level of expressing themselves and sharing. And it's left me out in the cold. And it's left us both potentially out in the cold. And it's like, I don't want to be left out in the cold anymore. I don't want to experience an emotionally unavailable person. And it's taking me a lot of strength to not engage, to stoop to maybe that level, or to get emotionally wrapped up in what they can and cannot do and why I feel left out and all that. So it's like, I want to hold a higher ground. I want to hold my love and compassion. I want to focus on building my world around love, around what matters to me, around not creating conflict for me or conflict for this person, because whatever this person's going through has nothing to do with me. So I shouldn't get angry. I shouldn't get in a battle of wits and them versus me and why can't they do this and why. It's just accepting the fact that they're emotionally not there, but having to control myself, because sometimes I feel like I'm disappointed, or like I want to have my cup filled. And it's like, if I engage with my emotions, I get left out in the cold and feel disappointed. And I feel like person A is not at my level emotionally. So I fall flat. I fall short. So what can I focus on? I could focus on work. I could focus on my life. I could focus on things here that I want to commit to, that are promising, and trust that by focusing on my own world and building this, that I will experience something that is going to set me free. But I don't want to be held back by thoughts, limitations, expectations, and disagreements, and feeling like let down here, disappointed. I feel like person B might have built up their like whatchamacallit. Like I feel like maybe over time they've been disappointed so much with person A that it's like I got to build up my own confidence in myself to remain focused on not feeding into stories that say why this isn't working or what is not working about this thing. It doesn't really matter so much why it's not working. What matters is what I have energy to focus on and what I can give love to and what I can know is true. But I think it takes some restraint here because I do feel like person B has a lot of love for person A. And it's like, I want to be able to give and express, but I can easily overgive and overshare and feel emotionally, like overflowing, but then be let down and feel left out and feel like it's an imbalance here. Like A is not at my level or is not giving me what I need here emotionally. So I can't spend too much time there, because all I've left is empty-handed and disappointed, and it hasn't led to anything great. Yeah, King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So I think they're feeling like person A is emotionally incapable of leveling up and stepping up for them. And so their intention is just to focus on what they can. If it's work, if it's what they can commit to. But I feel like person B wants a commitment and they want to energetically, emotionally support where they do have control, not things that make them feel limited. Okay, but it's with a great restraint here because, like I say, there's lots of love. So this is what I see here for these two beautiful people. I hope this helped you guys, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Welcome to the disclaimer. Don't get fooled by people scamming you in the comments section. If you're interested in a private reading, all my contact information is in the description box, and there you will find my website, and that is only through my website can you book private readings at this time. And for those of you guys new to the tarot does not predict your future. Tarot is not set in stone. Tarot is reflecting back to you a state of consciousness that is something you can either resonate with or not. And so it's very important that you are in tune with your intuition so that you know whether the pile you're picking, the information coming through, is reflecting back to you your own intuition, state of consciousness, your subconscious. And this will be the best way for you to know that the message is indeed meant for you. So if your intuition is not clear or it's cloudy, then you might be tapping into the wrong pile, or information might be coming through that is not dictating whatever your circumstance situation is. So it is important that you work with the divine to develop your intuition. Best way is to sit through the card layout, which I do include with most of my readings, where you can ask the divine to come up with what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether the pile makes sense for you. And so you can ask the divine to show you those signs, symbols, synchronicities, either throughout your dreams or throughout your day, and certainly throughout the reading, so that you can be assured that the messages you're tapping into are the right messages for you. If you are drawn to multiple piles with the pick a card readings, listen to your intuition. A lot of times energy is interconnected, and in this channel, a lot of times all my piles could be interconnected. So do not feel obligated to only select one or all or none. It is definitely up to you and your intuition. If you are in a pile and it is not resonating, there is no need to continue listening to that pile. If it doesn't resonate, sometimes it gives us perspective so that we know what is resonating for us. So even piles that do not resonate could provide some insight. Keep in mind that if you have strong energy in your presence, other people, situations, that could be quite heavy energetically or strong energetically, spiritually heavy, those might pull through the pile. So it might not be your energy that I'm picking up, but your situation, your circumstance, or people that you're dealing with. It's up to you to keep an open mind in regards to what it is that I'm connecting to, if it is resonating to your story. Do not take any messages that don't belong to you. There will be specific messages that come through for certain individuals, even though the pile might be your pile, but the specific message does not connect to you. Do not take those messages. Only take the ones that resonate for you. It should be the overall energy in that pile that is resonating to your story. It is the gist of that energy that should be overall the story or the energy of the situation, circumstance, or the person that I'm tapping into. If you are unprepared to listen to difficult messages, messages that offer healing, messages that might provide someone else's perspective that we're not quite ready to listen to, it might be a good time to come back when we're fully healed or prepared to listen to messages. My commitment to you is to read the cards with transparency and as much compassion as I can. It is difficult for me to provide you with any guidance in the comments section without knowing your specific situation. A lot of times the piles do come reversed and they might not match the exact description of the reading. And although I am posting the description of that reading, my intention is to always deliver that in which the description talks about. But sometimes spirit comes through with the mere reflection of either something objectively pulling through, some guidance pulling through, or something completely unrelated. And that is not up to me, and I certainly don't select what comes through. But Spirit knows when you will click on whichever video in order for you to hear the messages that are being pulled through. It might just be for one person, and that one person was needing to hear it. So if you are frustrated with that, it's early to tell in a reading whether it is resonating or not, especially if we've sat through the card layout. Again, do not feel obligated to take any messages that aren't for you. You can certainly switch your own situation, circumstance, or energy based on the reading you get. So if a reading does resonate, but you want a different outcome, then utilize the reading in order for you to make conscious choices, different decisions, guide the energy in a specific way that you want it to go. This is why we utilize the tarot and the oracle cards in order for us to be conscious of the energy and make shifts. Energy shifts very fast, and it is formless, and it is not time-bound, meaning I could be tapping into present, future, or past situations. If an energy feels like it's an old energy, it's past, you might want to go check out another pile. There could be one that's talking to your current situation, or we could be looking at a future state of consciousness. These readings might not make any sense to you at the time because it is beyond your level of comprehension. You might want to come back to these readings at a later date. That's why all these readings are timeless unless otherwise stated. And so, as I mentioned, it is up to you, depending on when you click on the reading, to know whether it is useful information to help guide you. All of my readings offer a level of healing, whether it is understanding someone else's perspective, if it is understanding our own perspective, tapping into subconscious energies, or looking at objective situations from the point of view of the creator. All information helps us to put the pieces of the puzzle together so that we can make better decisions when we're involved with difficult or challenging people or circumstances. This is the reason I do the tarot. I do not do the tarot so that we can dwell in hurts and in pain. So if we're suffering, we're allowed to feel how we feel. Pain is inevitable. We all suffer from pain, but the suffering is certainly up to us. And my mission is that we release suffering. Undue suffering does not need to persist. If we choose to suffer, it is because we're making a decision to stay in the suffering. The choice is always ours to get out of suffering. And so sometimes we don't like to hear what it is that's being communicated because it might release us or relieve us from stories, from comfort zones, from pains and clutches that we've used in the past in order for us to feel safe, in order for us to remain in our comfort zone And as I mentioned, healing isn't always easy. So it is sometimes very difficult for us to acknowledge truths, because sometimes a comforting lie is what we choose to believe in. I do not feed comforting lies. I will not read information or readings here that provide you a level of comfort and water the truth down. I don't want you to leave here feeling a false sense of security, but I do want you to leave with a sense that I justified your own intuition, your own energy and suspicion, or whatever you were wanting to confirm with the divine. I also want to make mention that I am not everybody's reader. So at times my voice is annoying, even to myself. And sometimes I deliver messages that aren't quite as concise as they can be. Spirit knows which words I will use in order to channel the information that my soul tribe, the people being drawn to the reading, need to hear. So those words are crafted by the design. I don't spend a whole bunch of time trying to analyze. I do know when it feels right, and I do know that sometimes it's a struggle to come up with a word that can define energy. Energy is not words. Energy can't fit into words. And so sometimes these readings could be a lot of repeating the same thing as I'm trying to find the right word. And if you've tried channeling, you'll notice that a lot of people who channel, they do repeat a lot of words until the right word comes through. Sometimes readings, unfortunately, don't make sense until the very end. And we might go down one path only to find that the answer was something else, or that the reading was something else completely. I don't intend this. Some days my channeling is very strong, and other days it is difficult for me to follow. And sometimes, if it is difficult for me to follow, it can make complete sense on your end, but the delivery on my end might sound a little chaotic or confused because I don't understand everyone's situation and circumstance. Keep in mind, these are general readings, and these readings touch a lot of people, a lot of viewers. If you don't connect with my style, if you don't connect with the readings, then I do suggest you go find another reader. There's many on YouTube, and it could just be the reading or the pile wasn't your fit. So you might want to try another reading from my playlist. And I do hope you guys stay, and I do hope to connect with you guys. I do read all your comments. I do try to reach out to you guys, all of you guys. And if I don't, rest assured, I do see your comments, and I send so much love to you guys. I appreciate you guys very much, and I'm so honored to do this journey with you guys. Bless you, and God bless.